I'm Ben Bailey, and I believe our homegrown food is world class. The quality of our produce, the skill, creativity and passion of our people is second to none. There is more to the New Zealand food story than ever before. Here at Ahi, we are always striving to use the best local ingredients and tell the provenance of where it comes from. Food is more than fuel to power our bodies. Our food in New Zealand has a unique story. I want to experience its origins and the Kiwis behind it. The beautiful Wairarapa. It's a place I've heard so much about but never been. Only an hour's drive from Wellington. It's known for its charm, vineyards and gourmet foods. I'm excited to be here and looking forward to meeting some extraordinary food producers. My first stop is to see the Unofficial food ambassador, who is also a huge inspiration to me. The one and only Martin Bosley.
Hello mate, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, long time.
Thanks for having us.
No, pleasure.
It's so awesome. It's my first time in Martinborough and Greytown.
Yeah. What?
You know...
That's no good.
I know, it's kind of embarrassing, isn't it?
It is if you want to tell the New Zealand food story and you haven't been here yet.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We're no good at looking in our own backyard, right? It's almost like we're embarrassed by what we've got. Well, we'll go to Italy and come back raving about their olive oils. Yet we produce amazing olive oils here. I mean, here in the Wairarapa, we produce 30% of New Zealand's olive oils come from here. There's over 85 olive groves.
It's amazing.
It's extraordinary, right? But we don't talk about it. When the early settlers arrived here, they were like, this is amazing for, for grazing sheep and cattle on. Early Māori that were here, they already knew that. They were fishing out of Lake Wairarapa and Lake Ferry and over there. Early Māori here were significant traders. It's not a new thing for us. It actually goes back hundreds of years. And they call it, the Wairarapa is glistening waters. It's kind of basically what it means. And it was only when I got here, I then discovered for myself, like, the food story that exists here.
Yeah.
So there is a massive opportunity for us here to start telling our food story.
Yes.
Because it is phenomenal.
What are your favourite parts of this region?
I live here on Main Street here in Greytown, right? Yet I can be in my car and I can be fly fishing on any one of 3 rivers literally within 5 minutes.
Yes.
Right? I love that I can be doing that with no one else around me. There's the rugged coastline, for instance.
Yes.
You've got that. You should go to places like Lunar Estate and see what they're doing out there. The list goes on and on, really. So just over the road here, opposite the White Swan where we are now, is the Greytown Gin Distilling Company, Adam Blackwell, which incidentally is the most beautiful bike shop in the world that he's got there. What more do you want?
Greytown is beautiful and it's a shopping gem. There are no big box shopping or same malls, but beautifully restored Victorian architecture and loads of specialty stores. And it seems the Wairarapa is overflowing with food stories. First stop will be to meet the Unofficial Mayor of Greytown and head honcho of the Greytown Distilling Company.
Adam, how are you?
Good, thanks, Ben.
Amazing, what a place. It's just like my the man cave of my dreams.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably the coolest bike shop in the world, especially with the gin shop inside it,
Yes.
right? A lot of people are really surprised when they come in and they discover this because it's something quite special and we designed it to really highlight the gins and make it a really nice experience for people.
We have this gin at Ahi and it's truly the best. All the botanicals are local and the stainless steel flasks are awesome and totally recyclable.
In many cases, we're either growing the products themselves in our own gardens or we're foraging them locally. And in our new ones, like the Seafarer gin, we're getting kelp from the south coast.
You've been described as the unofficial mayor of Greytown.
Well, the real mayor might have a problem with that, but I think I just love the town and I really want the town to be successful. And I think when we do lots of activities that make the town successful, it's good for the community, it's good for businesses, and it's good for everybody that comes to visit here.
With more to see and do, Adam has given me some intel about Epicuria cured meats, made in the heart of Martinborough. The Prodigal Daughter Gourmet Lodge, which is headed by Rachel Priestley, where she runs cooking classes as well as making Kiwi cured meats.
I, like you, lived in Italy and worked as a chef. I did that for 10 years and also lived in France. When I came back, I really missed really good quality cured meats, but also what we do best here in New Zealand is beef and lamb.
100%.
So I cure beef and lamb and using New Zealand flavours like kawa kawa horapito, seaweeds, So making it really a unique New Zealand product.
This is truly an art form in food processing, like with thousands of years of history. So I'm so excited for you to maybe share some of your secrets.
Sure. maybe.
There's so much to making cured meats. The airflow, temperature, humidity, to name but a few. I guess we run the risk of getting really chefy here and really technical, but for me, I've never seen anything like this in New Zealand, so it's really exciting. I think you're doing amazing things. I can't wait to try it.
Thanks.
Okay, well, let's get salting.
Yeah, salting's the first step. So working on 3.5% salt, there's a secret. And here's my secret mix of horopito, kawa, and various types of seaweed.
Yeah.
That'll get backpacked and sit between 0 and 4 degrees for about 3 weeks.
Yes.
Then it gets washed off and respiced, and that's when the curing process will start. We do want some of the humidity so that we get this white mould to grow.
Yes.
So that's just come out of the curing chamber last week. That's a good sign, because when the penicillium is on the outside, it means the bad bacteria won't be able to grow. It forms a coat, but it also adds flavour, so smell that. So I've got some of my kawa lamb here.
Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. All right, so this one here, this is looking absolutely amazing.
It's beef. So that's got seaweed, horopito, garlic, really umami flavoured. So that's the Epicuria beef with native herbs and seaweed.
What I love about the New Zealand food story is finding people like Rachel who are doing the most amazing things, adding value and taking our food story to the world. That looks freaking amazing.
Yum.
It's the Jackson Pollock of charcuterie. Coming up, I head to Lunar Estate Wines, where it's all about the terroir as well as running a Hilux on chip oil.
It smells like someone frying wontons.
You guys are crazy, I love it. In the heart of Martinborough is Lunar Estate. I've always been meaning to come as their wines are exceptional, but it's their ethos that sparked my interest. Number one principle is they look after the soil and use regenerative and organic farming principles, and you can taste it in the glass. And it's not just great wine that makes them shine, they're pushing the boundaries in other areas, such as converting an old Hilux to run on, wait for it, chip oil.
So, Ben, before we cruise around, look at our farm, talk about what we do, I want to just talk you through this kind of funky looking truck we got here and get Bass to explain exactly what he's put together.
Yeah, just what is it? We converted this to drive on deep fry oil or chippy fat, as we call it.
Yeah.
I'm a deep fry oil expert, and getting rid of it is an absolute pain. So, what do you do to it to make it usable in a diesel vehicle?
I don't want to disappoint, but it's actually famously low tech. Like, it's not that flash.
Can I do this?
It only works on older cars, so it's a bit of a niche thing, I'm afraid. But all you have to do is pour it through some old denim jeans, and then that kind of filters it. And there's a few parts you have to put in there to make it work. But
how? Like, what do you do? Give me an overview. What parts? Tell me. Is this a secret?
Well,
Being so cagey, man. But cough it up, buddy.
I don't want everybody to drive around in it.
You know the funnest part about this thing?
What's
is
that?
When you turn it on, it smells like a fish and chip shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's a good excuse for you to keep eating chips, right?
I'm going to get you to sniff the pipe. Fire up, buddy. It smells like someone frying wontons.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
The vineyard is super different from others in Martinborough, as it is situated on a hillside of clay and limestone.
So what we've got here, Ben, in the foreground over here, is we've got Lake Wairarapa. And that range here, those are our mountains. You've got the Nematakas, you've got the Tato.
Wow.
And this wind that's blasting in our face, this is our wind.
Yes.
This is our nor'wester. It's the mighty Wairarapa nor'wester. It's actually comparatively soft today. Yeah, there it goes, a bit of a gust. But this is what really shapes our region. Dehydrates our berries, makes our skins thick, makes our wines intense, and really helps keep our vineyards nice and ventilated. Really good for keeping disease away. We use regenerative and restorative farming to really look after our land and our precious soil. Farmers cop a lot of tap, you know, and it's frustrating to see. We work our asses off to, you know, to create and to grow crops, and I don't know, just there's always this disconnect, you know, between I don't know, I guess people and who are not on farms and people that are on farms, you know.
Yeah.
We do feel sometimes a little bit, I don't know, like undervalued, I guess, which can be a bit annoying.
Well, I value you.
You do, man. Yeah, I know that. I can see that. It's why you're here. Farming's our superpower. It's what we do best. It's what we have to offer the world. It's our ability to innovate and to work our land. Right? We need to sell stuff. We're a long way from anywhere. We're a tiny little population. But what we've got is we've got the land and we've got farms.
How Joel describes what he and his team do is basically they look after the dirt and the weeds.
What we've done here is we've cultivated up this row and we've purposely planted a range of plants in the interrow.
Yes.
And this is called interrow cropping.
Yes.
And it's crucial to our practice.
So for celia, what we put celia in for is it has a flower. They generally attack or eat undesirable bugs.
We're trying to build an ecosystem. So we like to think of our vineyards as an environment, miles away from that traditional scorched earth monoculture viticulture that you sort of see, sadly, around a lot of the country. Mowing the shit out of it, spraying under the vine, no diversity. We need to start moving away from herbicide. One, it's lazy, it's destructive. It's also going to be demanded by the consumer more and more going forward. Sometimes we need to use it, but crucially, we do move away from it, and that's really important.
Because we're on clay, and it's very hard to get water into the ground. So we use tillage radish for drainage.
Wow. It's when it rains, instead of the water running across the, if you're running across the ground like hard concrete, it penetrates more easy.
in.
You might look at this and go, oh, it's quite untidy, there's quite a lot of weeds. But this is by design. This is how we want our vineyard to look at this point. And you'll notice under the vines here, there's no herbicide. What we've done is we've ploughed under vine here. We've cultivated this
Yes.
with a machine. And what we'll do is we'll come through and do another one, and we'll fold all these weeds back in.
So it's all about increasing your organic matter.
The team at Lunar Estate's vision is impeccable.
Rather than spraying a herbicide to kill the weeds, you turn the weeds over. So you cut their roots and turn the soil. And so you're essentially ploughing under vine. I mean, it's common sense, but common sense isn't so common. So this has taken years to master and to learn.
Because you've just got to be strong-willed to carry this through. You've got to have balls of steel to do this.
Yeah.
Starts in the soil. Get the soil right, get the vine right, which gets the wine right. It's pretty simple, really. And another string to their bow is the Dark Skies experience, a world-renowned affiliation.
Okay, so Dark Skies, tell me about it.
So there's actually an international scheme, and it's run by an outfit called the International Dark Sky Association. So it's really a conservation thing, and it's about protecting the dark sky that we have here in Wairarapa and in New Zealand more generally, because there are other dark sky places, and making sure that we can see what's in the sky and that future generations can see what's in the sky. In my view, it's important to see the sky just as you should have access to the beach or be able to go to a forest or any other part of our countryside.
It's really funny, that word like conservation, where you always think about conservation as like protecting the planet and stuff, but protecting dark skies from light from human beings. I mean, that's amazing.
Because light pollution harms animals and plants, and indeed has impacts on human health. So it's a really good thing to do, and it's a really simple thing to do. You work with people to use light just when they need it, and not just spray it in the sky or around the place to harm all of New Zealand's really precious nocturnal animals and birds.
South Wairarapa District Council is doing their bit for light pollution. From street lights to district plans for buildings that don't light up and pollute the skies. But unfortunately tonight, the skies weren't playing ball. However, I will be back, as this is what the Wairarapa skies can offer. I can't wait to see it for myself. Coming up, it's a big day for me as I get to milk my first ever sheep. I'm constantly amazed and inspired by New Zealand food producers for their tenacity and drive. I'm heading to Te Wharo on the Wairarapa coast to visit two young brothers, Ben and Cam, who are running their family farm with over 1,000 hectares. They are passionate and want to educate Kiwi consumers about the benefits of sheep milk.
I suppose the first thing that we had to start changing was the sheep genetics, getting sheep that would actually be able to produce milk. So that was sort of the starting point, and then we had to commit and piece together how it all might work. Good for people who can't tolerate cow's milk, 60% more protein. Like
60% more?
Yeah.
Than cow's milk?
Yeah. Yeah, and high magnesium, phosphorus, a lot of those important nutrients and micronutrients. Just being smaller, they're a bit more kind on the environment, and then we also saw the opportunity to keep lambs on mum, and it was just like holistically, we just looked at it and thought, well, it ticks a lot of the boxes that, well, for us personally, like our core values, but also for what we think that people are starting to look more into when they think about their food source options and how their food's produced.
These two are the new breed of farmers with a different mindset and opportunities of what you can do with the land. Time to get milking. Not sure how this is going to work.
So similar to a cowshed. Am I allowed to say cowshed?
Yeah, it is based off a cowshed. I suppose it's obviously smaller cubicles for the sheep. Herringbone set up, 24 aside. And only 2 cups, so it's a bit easier and seems to be a bit cleaner. The girls are a bit kinder to us in the shed, so...
Oh, that's interesting. So they only have 2 teats?
Yeah, nice and quick.
How many litres in there?
The top girls probably do about 3 litres a day.
3 litres a day?
They do pretty well, yeah.
1 milking a day?
Yeah, 1 milking a day. It's pretty low stress on the girls, just once a day.
Wow.
Easy on the farmer as well, too.
I mean, awesome. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
What a scary noise. Got to give it a little massage. They're so easy, aren't they? They're like much easier than cows.
Yeah. Our flock of sheep, like we've got quite a few sheep that have been pets and been really friendly. They help lead the way and always stop for a bit of a scratch, which is always nice.
And who's this?
So this one here is Sue. So she's one of a triplet. So we got Sue, Lynn and Alice. Some of our top milkers on the farm.
So the more relaxed they are, maybe more milk they produce.
All of our pets actually do seem to be really good milkers. So we do wonder if there's something in it.
I love these guys and I love their attitude. And I cannot wait to taste the fruits of their labour.
Oh, that's insane.
Straight from the vat.
It's so sweet. It's like melted ice cream.
Yeah.
You know when you leave the ice cream out and it melts? It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
No, and that's a big thing that we're trying to educate people on is the fact that sheep's milk, not only is it, like, it's good for people who can't tolerate cow's milk, but man, does it taste good as well.
It's amazing. Can we have some more?
The boys see huge potential in sheep milk, both domestically and internationally, and they are determined to make it work.
A big reason why we wanted to get into it was to try and have control of our own destiny a little bit. Farming is certainly one of the most challenging industries out. You work 7 days a week and you don't often get rewarded for the work that goes in.
Us as a small sheep dairy farm at the moment, we're trying to connect to our local domestic consumers first, but I guess the dream is to eventually get it overseas.
With mutton at the $2 a kilo mark, this is the same price it was for farmers 40 years ago. It's pretty disheartening. These guys are doing their utmost to keep this 26-year-old family farm sustainable for generations to come, and they are leading the way in other fields as well.
So I've never seen an SPCA logo on a bottle of milk before, so can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so that was something that we're really, really proud of, to become the first dairy farm in New Zealand with the SPCA Animal Welfare Certification. Again, it goes back to, like, we wanted to connect with consumers and also have that seal of approval that the way that we farm is we're going above and beyond to make sure that the animals are looked after well.
I just think the whole of New Zealand should be getting behind you guys. I mean, I certainly want to, and I will. You know, I'm going to serve your milk at the restaurant. It's amazing. I just think I can just see this going really far.
From pasteurisation to bottling and marketing, it's a family and community affair, and it epitomises the New Zealand food story. It's been an amazing few days in the Wairarapa, and there have been inspirations aplenty. To finish my time here, I'm going to Adam's house to say thank you and cook him a little Wairarapa themed dish.
So I got inspired last night with your gin, and I've made a crayfish gravlax.
Okay.
So it's cured overnight. Green tomatoes, lots of herbs, broad beans, some fresh onion, chives, a little bit of creme fraiche. You know, think about salmon, creme fraiche, all that vibe, but with crayfish and everything from the Wairarapa.
Wow, that sounds delicious.
So Martinis, it's never too early, is it?
No, it's not. Great way to start a dinner or a lunch.
Or any breakfast.
Or, I suppose you could have it for breakfast. The great thing about a martini is it's a very clean taste, so it doesn't interfere with the food.
Love it.
It just gets things going.
So my martini knowledge comes from James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing today with your martini?
We are going to stir, not shake, and I've been through the whole shaking thing. I love shaking martinis and getting those little ice crystals in them. But according to all of the New York experts, all of the cool kids, they're saying that you get a much smoother martini if you stir it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we started off with just 2 ingredients in our martinis, the gin and the vermouth, but we've added orange bitters because to be an official cocktail, you need 3 ingredients. 4. So we're making it with the Station Master gin.
Yes. What's the botanical on that one?
This has got, it's actually got Heritage Greytown apples in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And the little story behind this gin is that my great-grandfather was the original station master in Greytown, and he brought apple seeds with him from England, planted them around Greytown.
It's incredible. So they're his trees?
They're his trees.
I've got to be careful. I love it.
Back to the dish.
I've made a little sort of Bloody Mary situation, but instead of vodka with gin. We've got some broad beans, the green tomatoes, which I've confit in great Wairarapa olive oil. Martin told me that.
Right.
Got best olive oil in New Zealand, apparently, which I agree. All these things are going to be combined and sort of dressed in that confit, Wairarapa, tomato and olive dressing. Then we're going to shave the gin-cured crayfish gravlax over the top. Pretty simple. And on top of that, we've got some pawa here, which is pretty amazing.
The crayfish is rolled in herbs and chilled down.
Salt, a little bit of sugar, heaps of aromats, kelp, and then all the herbs you can think of. So I've got cornflowers in there mixed with fennel, dill, bronze fennel. And also, don't forget, it's cured with your gin. You try that one, actually. There you go. That's the sacrificial piece.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. All of the flavours have gone straight into the cray. It's absolutely delicious.
Just needs a little bit of the gin Bloody Mary over the top. That's it. What an incredible few days it's been. I'm just so impressed. So hopefully this dish represents your guys' region and all the hard work you do here. So yeah, thanks for having us. It's been phenomenal. Okay, cheers, guys. Thanks for having us.
No, beautiful. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
A New Zealand food story was brought to you by Balance Farm Environment Awards, promoting sustainable farming and growing.